We want this to be positive vibes. I want to be happy. We both want this to be the best team that it can possibly be, but we are at a standstill. We are at a crossroad. All right. So I want to ask you, and obviously I'll give my opinion. Are we too far gone? Is it past the point of coming back with AJ Brown?
No, man, AJ Brown, man, absolutely, bro. It's way too far gone, man. Like, I was always like, team keep AJ in Philadelphia. He's a phenomenal talent, and the production's been there since he's come around though. But man, this off season and the end of the last season, it's too much, man. The tea leaves are kind of already in the cup. It's already being stirred up and it's already being poured out, man. Like, I'm thinking, I was in kind of the mindset like, we'll see what happens with the NFL draft. Like, if we go first round, if we get O-line or whatever, then we straight. But they just took Mekhi Lemon. He's gonna be that piece, because you don't draft, man. You can't draft a wide receiver in the first round and be like, oh, you're gonna be wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 when we already got Devontae Smith, like 1A adjacent. They bring him in too. Like, this wide receiver room is crowded, man. It's too crowded to keep him in there.
It's either going to be the most stacked wide receiver room in the NFL, right? Like, you're either looking at because I have that hopium, right? That's what it is. I hope that he will stay, just because of on paper what it would look like, and I've said from the beginning I didn't think like the media was being honest. I thought there was a lot of weird stuff that they were saying that wasn't really a lot of anonymous sources and stuff like that, but. Like you said, you can't deny what's been happening, how it's been looking, and the silence. That's what I think is the worst part of it. I feel like if he just came out and said, I'm not going anywhere, it's a lot of cryptic stuff. I agree. I do feel like it's probably, and this is coming from somebody that gets bashed every single day on Twitter. I'm telling every single day, people are bashing me for not believing that AJ is going to go. But I do think we're past the point, and it's not even because you wanted to leave. It's how long you let it drag out and how many people got thrown under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Because you wanted to go. So that's really where I'm at. I would love the player to be here. I just don't know if the drama can stay.
Yeah, with him, dude, it's like he wants to be loved so bad. He's already loved, man. We love you here. He wants to be loved so bad that he don't want to talk. He's kind of like the scene in the Batman where the Joker's like walking out and everything's just exploding behind him, because that's kind of how he is. He wants everybody to love him, and we already do. But he's sitting on the fence where one side is arguing for him to stay, and the other side is like, yo, AJ's got to go. And we all know that silence is a response, dude. It is a response. And the fact that he's not coming out and saying that, hey, I don't want to leave. I want to be here. I'm a Philadelphia Eagle. It says a lot. And then he goes on these other like podcasts and shows. Like, he went on Micah Parsons' podcast. He's like, yo, Philadelphia's home. Hope's all the way up here, right? And then he switches over and he's on Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski's show. And they pull that whole, we all Patriots, and he winked. Like, bro, come on now. Like, everything, it's like a subtle like diss or a subtle like tryout for the New England Patriots. Because honestly, I think that's where he's going. Nobody else really had the bandwidth to take him. And he's just letting it all kind of like play out. And in regards to that, the locker room stability, like, nah, man. Like, the vibes are there. Yeah.
It sucks because there's one side of me that's like, Philly media will make anything out of anything, right? Like, Philly media, give them an inch, they'll go a full mile with it. So it's like, to a certain extent, his silence is kind of understandable, but I don't know how to say it, because I know as a professional in anything, you can't just come out and say this is what's happening behind the scenes, right? I know you can't do that, and I think that Philadelphia sometimes forgets that, and me too. I'm definitely part of that fan base, but it's tough. Let me ask you this question: is there anything, and I want to know in the comments as well, everybody let me know, is there anything he can do that you could be like, you know what? We good, AJ. Just come on back. We good.
Restructure that contract. That's pretty much it. He can't. He can come out. He can apologize, but that don't change the fact that all these moves been made around him. Dude, so many wide receivers have been added. We drafted for him. The only thing he can really do is restructure that contract, because a couple years ago he got that $96 million contract. Been playing. He's been playing up to that 1,000 yard receiving every year. But you got to think what's coming up, dude. You got Cooper DeJean's contract coming up. Yeah. You got Jalen Carter's contract coming up. You got Quinyon Mitchell, so on and so forth. That $96 million, that's a lot of relief. And he kind of backed himself into a corner, not saying that he wants to stay, the antics that happened last year, all 3 ball drops in the wild card playoffs. Only thing he can really do to make this thing right is to take a pay cut. And we all know he's not going to do that. Yeah. There's no way he fits here in Philadelphia, dude. Everything is just aligned for him to go. Yeah. Everything's aligned for him to go. And he kind of set that up for himself. Howie Roseman would have been in a bad place if AJ Brown was still on board with being a Philadelphia Eagle, because the money, the cap hit, all the players, and all the salaries that he's kicked later on down the line. But if he leaves post June 1st, you take that little bit of a cap hit, and then the Patriots or whatever team he goes to is going to take on the rest of that contract, and then that gives money back to Philadelphia, so that way we can kind of sign and extend everybody else. So the only thing that keeps AJ Brown in Philadelphia is pretty much the money. We'll still love him regardless. We still hate to see him go, and we'll still hate to see how he acted on his way out. But we'll still love you here. But other than that, there's in my mind, because I'm a numbers guy. There's no way that we keep AJ Brown on this team unless he decides to restructure his contract.
Yeah.
And we all know he will.
I think that's fair. I think that's 100% fair. I think that the one thing I will kick back is I don't think Howie would be in trouble necessarily, but I do agree that it would be one of those. It's easier to let it go. You know, it's definitely easier to just say, all right, I don't have to deal with it at all, and I get some picks. Okay, that makes sense to me. Before we move on to the next thing, let's kind of just put a nail in this coffin. What is it that you're looking to get back? Because I'm going to be real. I don't know if you're on Twitter much, but I am, and they are annoying. And I've been seeing so many people saying, oh, you guys are getting like a third. You're getting a 2045 third, and maybe we'll give you a pair of game used cleats. People are acting like this guy is not getting the return. I need a first. I need at least a third. I think we can get more. What are you like? What's your cutoff point? What are you okay with in return for AJ Brown?
Man, for AJ Brown, man, I was always saying a first and a second, but that's a little bit too rich. But a first and a third would make a lot of sense. Thinking about the Jalen Waddle trade where he went from Miami to Denver, they got a first and a third, and AJ Brown is way better than Waddle. So I'm saying I need at least first and a third, but they're saying we'll get a 2028 first rounder, and then we get a conditional 2027. So it could be a second or a third. Yeah. Really. I'm going rich, dude. I want a first and a second. Yeah. Now, will that happen? Probably not.
I'm not even mad if you push it out a little bit. If you want to say, you get 2028 first and second, we could do that. I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait a year. I'm cool with that. I think that, it has to be at least a first. And like I said, conditional third, I'm cool with. You know what I'm saying? But if you're talking... If we're giving anything back and not getting more than a first and a third, I'll be very upset. And I don't know, this is for any Patriots fan watching this, I don't know who you guys thought Howie Roseman is, but he's not him, all right? He's not that guy you're going to swindle when it comes to a trade. He's known for what he does, and for good reason. Is there anything you want to say to put a kibosh on this, at least until June? Because once June 1st comes, we'll be having to talk about this all over again, maybe on a different team or not. We'll see.
Man, at this point, man, just saying that wish he would stay. He's going to be a Patriot, but at the end of the day, man, they're going to pay what they owe. They're going to pay what they owe. When that toll is big. Mm-hmm. That toll is big, and you know what? I'm gonna say it. We're gonna get a first and a second. Because I know he's gonna once he goes to New England, he's gonna be that number one option. He's gonna put up at least 1,000 yards. They're not gonna go nowhere. No. They're not, in my opinion, they're not gonna go nowhere. They just won a Super Bowl. They got what is it? The third to last hardest schedule. They're not going nowhere. He's gonna go put up his numbers because that's what he wants to do. He already got the 2 big contracts. He already got the ring. Now he just wants to, I hate to say it, stat stuff. He wants the stat stuff. He wants to make a play for the Hall of Fame. And you know what? I ain't mad at him. He could have did that here. He could have did that here. He could have waited.
That's my thing. You're going to New England. Like you said, that was a good point because they're going from the easiest schedule to right now on paper one of the hardest ones. So I don't know what you saw in Drake May. Drake May had a good year. I will not take that away from him. He had a solid year. He's a very good quarterback. But he's not a stat stuffer. He's not going to go out there and throw for 400 yards every game. No. That's not who he is.
Play. They ain't play nobody but the Broncos with a backup quarterback. I ain't going to take nothing from him, but
I don't get it. I don't understand what he wants out of this. Obviously, he thinks something is going to change with his perception, but I feel like there's two ways to get in the Hall of Fame as a wide receiver. You either have a bunch of, crazy records, which he's not going to break any, I mean, it is what it is, or you have a bunch of championships and you're a big contributor on a couple championship teams. And I think he could probably get to the latter with us quicker than he can get to the other with any other team. So, I mean, unless you're going to Joe Burrow, you're really not, or even the Bills. The Bills I would maybe understand because you're the only option out there. But the Patriots look like they want to get Stephon Diggs anyways. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. It is what it is. But I'm not talking about him until June 2nd. That's my that's gonna be my promise. Hey. After June 2nd is when I'll start talking about it. If he's gone June 2nd, then we'll talk about it. If he's not, then we'll talk about it. But it is getting so tiring not having any solid this is what's gonna happen,
And he played it up that way. So it is what it is. You just gotta ride it out till June 1st.